welcome to Humble House. I hope you're well. This is the headband we'll be doing today. It is a half double crochet stitch with a dahlia flower. Let's get started. You need some yarn, a hook, a ruler, and some scissors, and a yarn needle. I do not remember what type of yarn this is, and I don't have the little paper anymore. What you need to do is do a base chain. Now, depending obviously on your child's size, head size, is how many chains you need. I always like to start with about 50. This yarn is stretchy, unlike the cotton one, which is more true to size. Make a slip knot. Okay, if you remember, just do a little loop, insert your hook through the middle, grab that other side, and then pull on the two ends. Now let's start chaining. You put your hook under the yarn and then pull it through. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and so on. Right, so 50 chains gives me about 15 inches. I'm gonna do 4 more. So that should be about 15.5 to almost 16 inches. So whatever the head circumference is, you want to take off about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I mean, the best thing is obviously to always have the child to be able to measure it. If you don't, make a guess. It's always better to go up a little bit than for the headband to be too small. Now we're going to add 1 more chain to the base, which does not count as a stitch. So I have 54 chains. Now I'm going to do this extra one, 55, which like I said, does not count. Now we want to go back and start with the half double crochets, right? So you're not going to go into this first one. You're going to go into that second one. What you do is you yarn over, then you insert your hook into that stitch right there. And then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Let me show you that again. Yarn over, you're going to go into this stitch, okay? Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through. Now you will go into this stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. All right, so 3 half double crochets. Keep going. The next one will be going in there. I know it's probably easy to get confused and you think you need to go in here, but no. Okay, just observe that this is the one holding that last stitch. You are going into this next one. We are going to repeat that for the whole row until you get to the end. I will meet you there. You need to have the same amount of stitches that you started with without counting that extra chain. So I started with 54. That means I need to have 54 going back. Okay? Not 55 with that extra chain, 54. We're almost at the end of this row. And then this last one, you're going to insert it right here. See that? So that was basically your first chain when you started. Now chain 1 and turn. Now on this round, you are going to go through both of these loops. You see them? So not just through one, but through both. Don't forget the yarn over always. Then you insert into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now it gets a little confusing, right? When you're looking at it like this, you need to go, let me grab another Now you're going to go into this one. You see that? Oh my god, it's so hard to hold everything together. That one right there. That's where you're going to go next. So yarn over, insert your hook, remember through both of those loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, now again, you're going to go in there, yarn over, that's your third one. This is what it's starting to look like. Keep going until the end of the row and I will see you there. This is end of round 2, and this is where a lot of people get confused, okay, because you think that there's only one stitch left, but there's 2 more, which is why it's so important to count. So I'm at stitch number 52 and I need to have 54, so I know that this is not the last one, even though it looks like it, especially after you've done it. I mean, could look like it, but no, you still need to go into this stitch. Stitch number 54. Now chain 1 and turn. Now do the same thing. Start again into this stitch right here. See that? This one right there, through both loops. Okay, don't make the mistake of going in between the loops, you know, thinking, oh, that's the first stitch. No, you have to have these 2 loops. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. The next one is going to be in there, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and so on until you finish this row and any other rows that you want to do. I am still going to do 2 more rows and I will meet you then so we can connect the 2 ends. And don't forget to count. This is what it looks like when you're done. I did 4 rows. Once you're at this point, before you cut this thread off, leave a longer thread so that we can connect the 2 ends. You could do slip stitch, but then it leaves a little bowl, so I want it to be basically flush with the other side. And then I am going to pull this through, and then I'm going to grab my yarn needle and connect the 2 sides as best as I possibly can. Just going on both sides all the way to the end. It's hardly visible, right? I like to make a knot when these 2 align, again, to just secure it once more, and then just thread in the rest into the headband. Cut them a little bit shorter so you don't have to thread as much, and use the needle again to kind of, you know, to hide this yarn in between the headband. Depending on which side is going to be the outside or the inside, that's where you want to hide it. Let's move on to the flower. I am going to switch my hook to a size 5, but if you don't have a size 5, that's fine. You can still use the one that you were using before, which in my case was the 5.5. Start with a slip knot. There's your slip knot. Now you're going to chain 5. We're going to join the 2 ends with a slip stitch. Insert your hook into that first chain that you made, yarn over, pull through, and pull through again, so you have a little circle. Now chain 1 again, like so. Now into this ring we are going to do 12 single crochets. Means you go into the ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. That's your first single crochet. Again, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Let's do that again until you have 12 of them. Once you have the 12 single crochets, you're going to connect the circle with a slip stitch. So going into that first single crochet that you made, going in there, insert your hook and pull through both loops. There you have it. Okay, now you see how there's 2 loops from each stitch that you made. First, we are only going to work with this back loop. And then on the second round, we'll work with the front loop. I'm trying to get it as close as possible so you can see. So we did the slip stitch, and now you need to chain 12. Chains, and remember, going only into that back loop, that's where you'll do a slip stitch. Insert the hook, yarn over, pull through and pull through again. Now chain 12 again. There you have 12. Now into the next single crochet that you had, again only into that back loop will you do a slip stitch. And it's very important that you really only use the back loop because the front loop will be for the second round. Now chain 12 again, and that's how we're going to keep doing this round and so on until you've gone into all 12 single crochets that you did in the round before. I will meet you towards the end. When you've reached the end of your 12th petal, that's when you're going to slip stitch into that last one, like so. There you have 12 of these petals. Now you want to chain 8. Instead of 12, you're going to chain 8. And we are going to go into that front loop of the first one. Okay, so we started here and then did the slip stitch into the back loop of this one. So now you want to grab this front loop, see it? And do a slip stitch into that one, like so. Now chain 8 again. And yes, this one will have a little bit of space, but that's okay. Just looks like it's a little bit wider. In the end, it will look good. Now slip stitch into that next one, the front loop. And chain 8 again. So not in here, but this one. It's a little tricky to put your hook in. You're gonna have to help it. Slip stitch. And you can start to see what it's gonna look like. Okay, so keep going around and I'll meet you at the end. Here's that last loop. You obviously, you have 12 of the long ones, therefore you have to have 12 of the short ones. When you've reached this end, you basically go into that first one again where you started. Okay, I hope I can show it to you, because I know beginnings and endings are always complicated as to like, where do I go in? I mean, you can't really see it if wherever you go in, as long as it that's what crochet is all about. It's very forgiving. But basically where you started that first chain of 8, that's where I'm going to go in and do the slip stitch just to finish that off. And before you cut it off, again, leave a longer thread so that you can attach the flower to the headband. and then cut it off and pull it through. Grab your yarn needle and pass this thread to the back. So just insert your needle anywhere, push it to the back, and now we can attach it to the headband. This is the back of it, so if you wanted to cover that up, you can just attach it right there so that you don't see it anywhere else on the headband, which is what I usually like to do. But if you want to have this on the back of the head, that's fine too. Now simply go back and forth so that it is securely attached. That's pretty much it. Try to just go around the circle of the flower, that way you know where you're at. Well, I truly hope that you enjoyed making this today. I had a lot of fun, like always. I love making these. And I hope that it was easy enough for you to follow along. Please subscribe if you like it. I would so appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye!